I'm not volunteering.
Well, I was going to say now, next to is,
Maybe the president should be on there with Janet at least.
Sounds all right to me.
But I, in agreement with Roger, I think the board's decision is, do we put it in front of the public or do we not? I think that's really the board's decision.
So I think we could have the officers on that committee. 1, 2, 3.
But how does the board feel? I mean, what do you guys think?
I'm kind of thinking we need to figure out how the public feels before we go ahead and spend money for an engineering fee. I mean, are there enough people in the public that really want to do that?
But I will say, after that meeting, I heard a lot of people say, I wish we could see a picture. Or, you know, I think people do want to see a little more details. I mean, I hate to spend the money and then whatever, but I just think people do need to get as many details as they can before they're going to make an honest vote.
Yeah, I don't think you can take it to the public till you have something to look
No,
at.
I'm not talking about taking the whole project to the public and finding out where they kind of feel. Do we have more people in favor of doing something or not? Is now the time to do it?
How do you go find
We
out?
had your committee. How big was your committee, Jen?
Oh, I went just a couple of times, but there's a good number, 30 maybe? But 30? I thought it was a good number of people. And a wide variety, I liked that idea. Younger to older, to Fairmont to Ohio.
Do you know the total number, Mark, on the committee?
35, 40 adults.
And it all depends, I mean, sometimes you get one spouse and, you know.
I found, I probably mailed, I'd say there's probably about 4 people. Why I didn't contact everybody.
But you were good about putting it in the newsletter and whatnot. And I don't think people should have felt like they weren't invited. I mean, you did get it out there.
and I hear exactly what you're saying, Shirley. Well, do we want to take it there because we've said it on the senior center one, you know, to listen to that. And it was helpful to see the projections of what they were looking at, and, you know, here's,
I thought it would be
spent the money to do that ahead of time.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's free money. It's free grant.
If we've got the money to do it, and the committee's already made their recommendation, why wouldn't the board just go ahead and say, okay, let's find somebody, let's let them come back and present us some options, and just move forward on it. That's the only way we're gonna find out. We want to sit here and we can hash it around as much as we want to, but if we want to take it to people, we need to get in.
A lot of times when they have the public meetings is after they have a drawing and we have a public meeting and here's the drawing and the committee can present and the board's there to listen.
Well, then you've got some dollar amounts, you have some clue what you're talking about.
Now, when you would get this to go and you'd have committee or have people make, you know, public, what do I want to say? Like the hospital did such a good job going out to different places. If people would speak, they cannot, I mean, even Mr. Rogge couldn't speak at them, or could he?
You could.
He could, okay.
Yeah.
Just not a board member.
Well,
Right.
you can
Or-
speak, you can give,
No, I mean, like, be the.
you can give factual,
Facilitator.
yeah.
Right,
Both hospital meetings, all of it.
Yeah.
right, but I didn't know if that was like.
I would
spoken or-
probably still be a facilitator if the board wanted, but, you know, it's just a matter of organizing the meeting and making sure facts are presented and proper and question and answer, or Mark can do it, or whoever the board would like to do it, but,
For the bond issues, I think both you and
yeah.
Paul Bond facilitated like at Rotary or.
I guess I think, you know, Mr. Norvell is the face of the school board. I think he's got to be the person out front. I mean, he represents the school, I think. Mark did a great, Mr. Rogge did a great job, but I just think it's.
I don't disagree.
Oh, his face.
We can debate that all night.
How about, I guess, comments on the facility items that maybe I left off of what I would consider recommending, like
I like what you
like an indoor batting cage, and again, if we would build a new weight room, then to me the old weight room could go back to the shop, so that we really wouldn't need that. And the science rooms, I think that's something I think that Jim and I have talked that we're planning on doing, and we felt like we could do it out of building fund eventually, but maybe it would also be something that would be good to be on the ballot to show that we're not just doing a gym, you know, some academic things, and I think maybe that was the strategy of the committee to kind of show that there's some academic parts of this too.
I think they were assessing all the needs that were out there too.
Mhm.
And when architects kind of take a look at it, they can kind of pinpoint where things would be best fit, maybe beyond what this group, as far as idea-wise and visualize.
I know being on the senior center committee doing the same thing, we really got shot down by a lot of people because of batting cage type stuff. But we were thinking, what if, you know, what's the most we could ask for? Well, that's what we did, and that came back to bite us, so just
The pool, yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly, yes.
the walking pool.
Yes.
I think the best strategy is really to present to the public an idealistic picture of what you think could actually pass a bond issue, and not start with something this big and then it fails and cut, and then it fails and cut, and then it fails and cut. I think you're better off going with a realistic picture of our actual needs. Yeah, we really need this, and not have a whole lot of fluff in there, to be honest with you. But again, I'm sharing my opinion on it.
An architect will give you plan A, B, or C. And then it comes back to the board anyway, so we have to decide which one we're going to vote for. I agree with Roger, I don't know about that.
But
It might be fine
in my 14 years on the board, I have never seen a dynamic group like this group here, I'll tell you the truth. If something's gonna get done, it's gonna get done by this group of young people, for the most part, I think. They're just did a great job.
I think I tried to rationalize the batting cages by saying we don't really offer off-season training. We don't build those facilities for anyone. We don't have a place for our discus people to throw discus either, or, you know.
I'm not saying it's a good or
Yeah.
bad thing, I'm neutral.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I think that's a good rationale to use with the public, is that we're not providing that for our other sports, so we're not gonna provide it for softball, so.
It was brought forward by one member, and there was nothing else said about it, and it wasn't like
Make and break.
it wasn't a lot of support for it.
They're actually putting one in, I think.
Well, they put a net
Up above.
up above the, yeah. And so they're hitting down there now indoors, but they're using a facility that was already there.
Right.
We're not building one, so.
Any other questions, comments?
So that's what do you want it as a discussion item for one more month? Do you want a agenda item to do something?
I think we need to go to the agenda, so we get the architect going there.
Authorize the committee to interview architects and present one to the board? Because the board has to make the decision on the architect. But certainly the committee could do the interviewing if you wanted them to.
Why wouldn't the board members do that?
Can be.
I think I do. That's the way it's going.
What?
How many do you want on that? Who wants to be on
All
that
our
committee?
committees are 3 people.
For your facility committee.
Facility committees? Good.
I mean, building.
Building grounds, which would be,
Randy, I and Jim.
yeah. Welcome to that nice committee.
Oh, that's right, you said you did.
Did we? That's right.
Yeah. Go through.
Randy
those
can come in
guys.
from plant code.
It can be quite a process. I mean, just for example, I've had contact from architects calling me since our last board meeting. They must read it in the Signal or out somewhere.
Oh, seriously?
And I probably got 10 or 15 of them, and all I tell them was, send me a letter introducing yourself and attach it a list of the school districts you've done work in, and I'm just sticking them in a file. So, but I'm saying, for you three, you're gonna have 20 of them. I don't think you wanna interview them all. So we might go through the resumes and pick out 3 or 4 and have a night where they come in and we interview or something like that. I mean, that'd be my suggestion, but.
Okay, so we're in a consensus point on the agenda.
And really, agenda would,
Voting.
the agenda would be probably, word this right, would be authorize the Building and Grounds Committee to recommend an architect to help us with a plan, a schematic for a future building project, something like that. Does that sound about right?
Okay. Last item on discussion items is next board meeting, Monday, May 9th, 2011, at high school at 7:30 PM. Any conflicts there, folks, before we?
If you can know before that meeting whether you'll be at graduation or not, then just email Jim, because then that night, then he can give you your list for graduation on that Saturday. That'd be okay, Jim, do you think?
Be great.
We'll just plan on doing it like we've done in years past. Everybody will sit up there. We'll go through everything the same. It's just that we're gonna be on the east instead of whatever.
President, I have a short speech this year.
Hi,
Somebody bailed out on us last year.
Hi, how you doing? Good luck to you.
It's a kid's ceremony, not mine.
There you are.
That's a good attitude.
You don't want to speak at your time?
Okay, last one is that this regular meeting of April 11th, 2011 be adjourned at 9:56 PM. Need a motion?
Roger, you wait. Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Roger, second by Mark. Comments? Roll call.
Yes.
Fleischman.
Yes.
Lynn. Ochsner, yes. Shelka.
Yes.
Fillmore, absent. Donovan. Yes. Mulligan.
Yes.
Actually, explain the budget very well. I kind of understood it.
I have.
Okay.
This is the